you ready to master the waves of medical device product development? Well, wax up your surfboard because you are listening to Inspired by Amua. And here is your medical device product development expert, that Hawaiian-hearted hostess who will help you hang 10, Meghans Alonsos.
Ikomomai and aloha. That's welcome and hello in Hawaiian, by the way. I'm Meghans Alonsos, and mahalo for joining me for my first ever episode of InspiredByAmua.com. You're probably wondering, what is Amua and how do you even spell that? So, while I'm a Texas girl at heart that loves my barbecue, I consider my soul to be Hawaiian, and I am definitely full of the aloha spirit. So, I chose the word Amua because it's a Hawaiian word that means to advance forward with passion, to continue on despite rough waves. And I think this is the perfect word to describe the medical product and device development process because there are always tons of waves to face. So this podcast will be coming at you through the airwaves weekly and will provide you with insight, resources, and guidance to help you master those product development waves and also hang 10. So whether you've got a technology you want to commercialize, or maybe you're in a lab working off a few grants wondering, what do I do next? Or you're in the midst of product development, or maybe you even work for a large company where product development is pretty bureaucratic, this podcast is for you. So I'm taking a three-pronged approach with this, and I'll be interviewing a few different types of people. So number one, people in companies just like you that are either going through product development or they've just finished and launched their product. So they'll be able to give you insight into some of those rough waves that they've encountered, their tricks in the trade, and hopefully you can apply some of that insight to your specific situation. Number two, I'll be talking with experts in the industry. They can give you guidance and help you solve those problems that you're going through. They can also help you to identify partners to outsource and collaborate with. So it's pretty advantageous this day and age to be able to have experts on your team without the expense of hiring them full time. So lastly, I'll be talking with patients whose lives have been changed by medical products. So this will help you to keep inspired and to keep reminding you why you even paddled out into this crazy ocean in the first place. So that now that you know the format of the show, I'll tell you why I wanted to start this. So over the past few years of helping companies through medical device and product development, I've noticed the need for a central platform where med device entrepreneurs and companies going through development can leverage expertise, receive guidance, find needed resources. And when I talked with people and found out what they needed before, I would send them to several different websites and introduce them to several different people. And now, instead of that, I created that one central platform, and all you need to do is go there and visit. It's inspiredbyamua.com. That's, again, IMUA. So here's a peek into my background and personal life, just so you get to know me and learn why this is my mission. So my family and I have definitely faced some rough waves ourselves in the form of medical issues. And because of the hard work people like you have done, we've been able to overcome some of those battles. Now we're still facing others, so please keep working. My waves started when I was born. I had a folded retina in my left eye, so I couldn't see out of that eye. When I was 3, it totally detached and I got glaucoma. And it was a pretty traumatic experience. I was rushed to the hospital. I remember waking up in the middle of the night having to take eye drops just to control the pressure. And going to the doctor as a 3-year-old toddler running around in their office with all the elderly patients. That was pretty interesting because those were the type of people that got glaucoma, not the 3-year-olds. So I had a silver pupil in that eye, and a kid at school actually even bullied me every day and called me cat eye. Well, One day I got sick of that and kicked him between his legs, and I never heard from him again. So when I was in college, I got a big infection in that eye, so I had to have it removed, and I now have a prosthetic. It was custom made and hand painted. It was actually a pretty cool process to watch. So it's just for me, and it looks pretty great. And you can tell if you're really looking, but not many people can tell. So giving a shout out to Dr. Eric Kohlberg in San Diego for his hard work on that. I'm also unique because I have half an extra vertebrae between L4 and L5, and it's kind of wedge-shaped. So because of that, I have scoliosis, I have spinal stenosis, I have disc herniations, a rotated pelvis, and a tilted pelvis also. When I was young, I really wanted to dance and do gymnastics, but I wasn't sure about how my doctor would feel about that since it puts your back in some pretty awkward positions. So luckily, my orthopedic doctor said, hey, that's a great idea because it will help you keep your back muscles strong and flexible. And some movements were painful on my back, but I kept through it, and I did gymnastics all the way through college at Texas A&M, gig of Maggie's, and I'm still so strong today. And I really like that I had that discipline exercise regime. And I still have the occasional back and hip pain, but I keep it at bay with all the exercises that I do. Okay, so the biggest set of waves my family has had to face came when I was in high school. So my brother got extremely sick, and the doctors really didn't know what was going on with him. He had blood test after blood test, and eventually they found out he was hepatitis C positive. So in those situations, they decided to test the whole family, and it actually turned out that I was positive along with my mom too. So the doctors think she contracted it from a blood transfusion in 1974 that she had, and then passed it to us in utero. Between the three of us, we've been through 7 different treatments, 5 of which involved a low dose of chemo called interferon, but we kept pushing through it. We kept pushing through all those waves of the flu-like symptoms, the fever and chills, the hair loss, the weight loss, the anemia, the depression, the upset stomach, and just feeling crappy. So, well, the good news in all of that is that we are all clear of the virus, thank God, and the hardworking people to develop life-saving drugs. Okay, so now on to some fun details about my life. My times of gymnastics, along with sailing and surfing at Texas A&M, I was just infatuated with Hawaii. So I enrolled in a graduate program that ended up not really being for me. So I dropped out after 1 semester, but I really wanted to stay in Hawaii. So I stayed there. I've been able to surf all over the islands, and I got to work at one of the most beautiful hotels in the world, the Four Seasons Lanai at Manele Bay. So Larry Ellison purchased the island of Lanai a few years ago, and just finished a huge renovation, by the way. So you should go check it out if you can actually afford it. He's increased the prices quite a bit. So I loved the hotel industry, but I figured out that I didn't want to work in it long term. So I again had an attempt at grad school, this time successful. So I enrolled in an exercise science master's program through University of Houston, and then settled in San Diego, where they have the best weather on the mainland without going to Hawaii. So I was helping athletes to reach their full potential. And by full potential, I mean that human performance aspect that high-level professional athletes focus on. Getting their pole vault a fraction of an inch higher, their 100-meter time a nanosecond faster, achieving a shoulder angle a degree more on the uneven bars to create a prettier line for the judges. Now, I was so blessed. I was able to work with some incredible gymnasts, some high school athletes, the San Diego State University women's pole vaulting team, University of California at San Diego athletes, and even some Olympic pole vaulters from the training center down in Chula Vista. So some of those athletes got injured, and I not only had to help them reach their full potential, but I had to help manage their injuries at the same time. So that's when the light bulb clicked for me. I slightly switched my focus after that, and I went to work for an orthopedic rehab clinic. I was exposed to a lot more diverse patient population, young, old, all different kinds of injuries, and it was there that I was exposed to medical devices. So I had 3 patients post knee replacement surgery, and they each had a different rehab protocol. So I asked the PT, and she explained that they each had different hardware. That was so awesome for me to see how each knee was different for different patient needs. I knew I wanted to switch over to the device side after that, but this was 2008 and the economy was going down the tubes. So shortly after, I was given the opportunity to start another orthopedic rehab clinic, Joint Medical, from the ground up. And that was really fun. I was running rehab and their marketing, and I had an initial marketing budget of $100. They are now in 3 locations. They serve several patients and have changed lots of lives. So that was a really fun journey, but it was time for me to move on. So in the midst of refocusing my career, I got to live out one of my childhood dreams, dancing on TV. I was part of Ooh La La dance company, salsa dancing, 20 hours per week and going on dance tours all over. So we went to LA, San Francisco, Vegas, Denver, New York, Spain, and Morocco too. And that's in addition to all the venues we were at in San Diego. We're even part of America's Got Talent season 6. That's where the TV came into play. But my back and hip pain was increasing. In addition to my back problems, I found out that I had slight hip dysplasia and I had torn both of my acetabular labrums. That's the lining of the hip socket. So my right one was especially irritated with all of the salsa dancing. I decided to go to the best labral tear surgeon and actually the pioneer of that actual surgery, Dr. Mark Philippon at the Stedman Clinic in Vail, Colorado. He was able to repair that tear, and in between my physical therapy appointments, I was like a kid in a candy store because not only do they do surgery at the Stedman Clinic, but downstairs they have the Stedman Research Institute. So they test different surgical techniques, medical devices, and they also conduct studies all around orthopedics. So when I was there, they had a study on hockey players' hip injuries because a lot of them get that same injury that I had. In 2012, I finally moved over to the medical device industry. I know this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. All of my passions align, from healthcare to innovation to biomedical engineering, wellness, medicine, and I get to have relationships with really cool people all around the world. I'm able to see how people's lives are changed because of medical innovation and the benefits of all the hard work that goes into these products. I really do think this is my life's purpose and what God is calling me to do. A few years ago, I read A Purpose-Driven Life, and I do have my own mission statement. It's written by Rick Warren, and I think God is using me and my passion to work in this area. So I'm here to help you master the waves of medical product development and hang 10 too. So I can't wait for you to join me on the next episode. And in the meantime, go check out inspiredbyamua.com. Again, that's IMUA. And Imua.
Mahalo for joining us. If you're new to riding the waves of medical device product development, or if you've been in development for a while already, Inspired by Amua is here to surf with you. Want to be a master of the waves? Text HANG10, that's HANGTEN, to 44222. We'll send you the most common wipeouts companies make in product development so you can avoid them and reach master wave status. Again, that's HANG10 to 44222. We publish a new episode every Tuesday, so catch us at inspiredbyamua.com. Imua,